So when we're carpeting, we always put a sticker at the top, or what we call the top. So whatever we cut always is cut the same way, because actually if I fold it back, when you lay it in the carpet, it looks a different colour under different ways. I don't know if you can see that on here very well, but if we put this piece that's actually come off one of the doors and it's laid a different way, in the van it looks like a different colour carpet. So you can't just use an offcut and cover something that's going horizontal that's going vertical, because the colour of the carpet changes. I don't know if that's with all of the carpet or just this darker colour grey. So what we're doing is we've labelled like the top, and we always put a sticker at the top, and whenever I cut a sheet off, I'll cut it and I'll know that I'll stick a piece on the top to know that's the top. Checking the top. So now I'm going to move my marker over this side to give me a cut space, so I know I'm cutting from there. So a little tip that I picked up was a Velcro hat. Because I'm using the marker to mark where the top is, I thought, well, if I get a strip, I can just wind it down into a pull tight line, almost like a string line. And now I've got my cut. Take my scissors and just cut down the line. And what I'm going to do, just because it's good practice, and stick it where I know the top is on this side. Don't fall over. So I know that's the top. So rolling my piece that I'm going to work with back out, but remembering the front of the carpet is to be face down this time, which means the front of where I'm carpeting to still has to be also face down. So you need a nice spray adhesive. It doesn't matter where you get it from. Most places do it. So this is Van Pimps, this is Autocrafts. It's probably very similar. We're going to use the Van Pimps today, Autocraft tomorrow. So I'm going to spray the carpet itself, and I'm going to spray the board itself. Leave them to tack a little bit and then spray it, put it straight on. I'm going to spray the board first, knowing that this is the front, so I need to tack it to. That way, if any overspray goes on, it's going on the carpet anyway. Now, I probably use way too much glue because I want to make sure it's on and not coming off. But that should be fine. Pay a particular attention to your edges, but I do spray that again later. So now I'm going to remove this board, drop it down to let it tack. So what I've done is I've glued a piece of carpet onto a block, just something simple that I can have in my hand. Again, this is just to help me iron out the creases. It gives less friction, so it just kind of pushes it out easy enough. I'll show you that in a minute, but that's just another little hack, a bit like the tape we put on earlier. So now it's tacky, I know which is the top still. And what I normally do is I fold it in half and do half at a time, but I'm getting really confident at this now. So if you're a beginner, you might want to start with only spraying half of the carpet. And I'm going to go from where the window is, I'm just going to pull that right up. So making sure we get all the way to the end. Flip it over. And this is a bit where we now need to trim. So I'm not going to trim this area. The whole reason that's there is for the flex of the door. So that's just a design, it's going to stay in there. But here, this is for the door handle, so I need to cut this out and fold it round. So I make a cut here and then into the corner and into the corner. So when I fold back, I'm going to pull that. Because it's a stretch carpet, I manipulate with my fingers, or sometimes I'll use a tool like the back of the scissors, if that makes sense. So we can pull that round more to cover. Put on off the corners a side shape like that. We can manipulate it, we can turn it around later, we can change things. So don't be too stressed about it. We just kind of manipulate it a little bit from underneath. So as you can see, I've been able to stretch that right back, allowing for the curvature of the window. And I'll do that all the way around, and then I'll glue right around the edge and pull that further. And I don't need all this excess, so before I start gluing and wasting glue, you can go closer this time. But if we just throw that over again, you can see you've got a nice finished edge there. Sometimes you can get away with imagining which way it's going to go. So I am just going to cut that at an angle. Know that I've got the corner, and then I'm going to cut it back on itself. Use the block again, and then fold this corner in, making sure I've covered the top enough. Use the flexibility in the stretch carpet to pull that down to make sure it's definitely covered on the edge. So we're coming into this carpet in the cornering area, might need a little bit more of your time and attention. So I've cut back here to allow space for this. And I'm just going to manipulate it a bit more again into those corners. There we have the finished side. How's that looking? Because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I like to use a craft knife to finish my edges. And just make sure they're a bit neater. Like so. Obviously you have to make sure you've got a very sharp knife when you do this. Watch out! What do you reckon, Jax? Do you want to stick your head through? Okay, put your head back out then. Let go.